Is anyone else just so tired of this fact-checking nonsense from places like Politifact, stuff like that? I just hate it. I'm so tired of Googling something and then right below it, it's just every time Politifact, this thing's wrong, this thing's right. They don't even know what they're talking about half the time, and that's why I'm here. I've declared war against them. The Admiral Army is going to war against the Politifactors, and we're going to take them down. Rudy Giuliani's statement, there were 600,000 plus unlawful votes in Philly and Pittsburgh, I guess. Pants on fire is what they have rated this one. A knee slapper right there. Pants on fire, a rating. That's hilarious. As you can see, they have very good senses of humor over here. Says, if your time is short, yeah, I want to be here as little time as I can, trust me. The Pennsylvania Department of State said there's no evidence of fraud or illegality in the 2020 election. So funny enough, I wasn't sure who would be the Pennsylvania Department of State. So luckily I just highlighted this real quick and Googled it. Oh, the Secretary of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Haven't heard who that is. Let's see who that is. Kathy Bookvar? Are you kidding me? The one that I was just talking about how she needed thrown in the trash just the other day? Oh, she's actually the one who asked the judge in Pennsylvania to dismiss Trump's lawsuits against him. Conjectural theories. That's so weird that she would confirm this Politifact fact check. I'm telling you, it's just a big fact-checking circle around here all over the place with these people every time. They just want to fact-check each other all day long. So that's their first claim, if your time is short. That was funny. Giuliani figures amounts to over 40% of ballots cast in the two cities. He offered no explanation for how many votes could have been cast unlawfully. Even though he did. He even has his own YouTube channel, which I do recommend checking out. I forget what it is. Just type in Giuliani in YouTube. But he has explained it multiple times in depth. These are ballots that have been cast where people weren't allowed to watch, or when they were forced to stand too far away, or in multiple instances when they couldn't even come into the ballot counting facility. I mean, I just love that. I bet Kathy Bookvar was the one who dropped down the declaration to not allow certain people. Like, she was probably the one who had a big say in mandating these big areas that had all these wild things happen. The machines breaking and sparking everywhere, right? Switching votes around all day long because the machines are just wild. How does technology work? Ooh. I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate this whole environment around all of it. And I'm sure a lot of people do. That's why I think that these people need fact check times 10. Observers from both parties watch the count. No court has agreed with complaints that Republican observers were denied access to vote counts. Yes, they have. They literally, court mandated them to move. So I saw this setup too. I don't know if you remember it. I believe I pulled up the Pennsylvania live stream where they were counting ballots. And there's a section, I believe, that is railed off. So they would have some people all the way over counting the ballots, and then they'd have the observers behind this railing. And they moved the railing forward after this court order about 6 feet, but then they moved the observers' desks back even further, is what Giuliani has claimed. And I mean, it's mind-boggling stuff. I love that they just keep it so brief that they can explain their point to someone who does no research at all. Like, if I were like half blasted, I would be able to maybe believe one of these things, but then I'd just forget it. And that's exactly how the orange man bad thing circulates the whole time, because these people are just so dumb that they forget any of this stuff. They don't have any factual evidence to back it up. They don't do any investigation. And then they just believe whatever they're fed. In Pennsylvania, Democrat Joe Biden got more than 54,000 votes, or 54,000 more votes than President Donald Trump. Some Trump supporters reject that tally, claiming without evidence that tens or even hundreds of thousands of ballots were counted illegitimately. And that is exactly true. If you will notice, the first day of the election, Trump was up by 800,000 votes in Pennsylvania. So they had a lot of ground to make up with these ballots. And that's why right at overnight at 4:30 in the morning, boom, big Biden surge. I guess all the Biden people come out at night. I don't know. They were in some instances not even supposed to be counting anymore. They said that they'd stopped, and then magically they started counting again when all the observers left. It's more like 600,000 plus unlawful votes in Philly and Pittsburgh, Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani tweeted November 11th. And I'm sure it was fact check, wasn't it? We reached out to Giuliani communicator director to ask where he got this number and did not hear back. I wonder why. I have no idea why they would not reach back out to Politifact. The Pennsylvania Department of State, which oversees elections, yes, says the former New York mayor's claim is unfounded. We have no rationale or explanation for how so many votes could have been fraudulently cast. It's so disappointing, man. There's so many people like this in the government, too, that just don't belong there anymore. Like, move on with your life. You've suckled at the government teat for too long. It's time to move on. Sometimes you gotta get your big boy pants on and just go and do something with less responsibility. Maybe washing the dishes or something at like a McDonald's or something. I don't know how these people have a degree in anything. Aside from like being a bitch. I'm sure she does great at that. There is no factual basis for this claim, said Agency Communicators Director Wanda Murren. Allegations of fraud and illegal activity have been repeatedly debunked and dismissed by the courts. A U.S. District Court judge rebuffed a GOP suit that claimed Republican observers had been unfairly barred from certain areas of the Philadelphia Convention Center where mailed ballots were counted. Pressed by the judge, Republicans acknowledged that they did not have representatives on the scene. Okay, so it says here that under sharp questioning from Judge Paul S. Diamond, okay, dope last name, I guess, I'll give that to him, but wait till you see how he looks, trust me. It does not make up for it. However, they conceded that Trump, in fact, had a non-zero number of people in the room, leaving Diamond audibly exasperated. I'm sorry, then what's your problem? Asked Diamond, who was appointed to the federal bench by President George W. Bush. Denying Trump's request, Diamond struck a deal for 60 observers from each party to be allowed inside. Wait, what? So they actually did come to a deal then? Okay, well this is Paul S. Diamond. As you can see, that's what I was talking about, his looks. Not sure what he's even got going on here. The Michelin Man or something. If the Michelin Man had actually gone through like the Two-Face experience where he just got half of his face melted. But, I mean, he was appointed as a federal judge by George W. Bush. I'm not too familiar with this case, but from what it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like they had a pretty small number of people that were allowed in there. I don't know. I can't get into that one. I'll let you have this one, Politifact. I'll leave her in the middle. But don't forget the score already. It's like 5-0 or something, or 5-1 now, I guess. I'll give you half a point. Democrats and Republicans then established more detailed ground rules for how many party representatives would observe the count. A combined total of 1,409,483 votes were cast in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, the state's two largest cities. Giuliani's statement suggests that over 40% of them were illegal. His 600,000 figure is roughly equal to the entire number of mail-in ballots that were cast for Biden in the two cities. I mean, I think that there were a lot of people who used mail-in ballots and stuff, but I just don't see it being such an egregiously high amount. I understand that there were so many different weird ballot harvesting-esque type of deals, but still seems like there were so many, especially for Biden, and especially ones that were unlawfully counted. The state Republican Party is challenging a state Supreme Court ruling that allowed for counting mail ballots that arrive within 3 days after polls close on Election Day. It's so weird that they need to extend these deadlines. It's almost like they'd be able to see all the votes that Trump gets and then just feed other ones through the back door, and then they'd be able to gauge how to beat him. That'd be kind of weird if they did that, though. The state has kept those ballots separate. Pending a resolution of the GOP's challenge, the state did not include them in the tallies that led the state to be called for Biden. All right, so those ones, I guess, were cast to the side. We'll see. I mean, there are allegations of ones that were supposed to be set to the side being scanned still, so. And the Supreme Court did rule on this, too, and it was accepted. So Trump actually won that lawsuit and got these ones thrown into the trash. The three-pointer in the classroom style. Alright, well, they're ruling. Yeah, we already know you're ruling. And it is entirely inaccurate. It's so easy to just do your own research on this stuff. I mean, I see them name someone that they claim to be an official source, highlight it, right-click, and click search Google. And I'm telling you, you'll find out exactly why that is the person that they list as their evidence every time. It is unfailing. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a claim about Joe Biden, and then they literally quote Joe Biden to confirm it. That's the type of stuff these fact checkers do, fact checking each other all day. But I'm fact checking them now. I'm in this circle, and I'm not there for the fact check style. I'm there for the fisticuffs. All right, but if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. We got a war going on, so join me. Bye.